Let me say something that many people don't want to admit. A lot of Nigerians that live abroad want to come back home. They miss the people, they miss the lifestyle, they miss the sense of belonging. But a lot of them will not come back home. Why? Not because they hate Nigeria, but because living the life that they've built abroad is not as simple as packing bags and booking a flight ticket. And once you start understanding this, you might start seeing things differently. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Madam Chomzi for those of you that are new to this channel. Please subscribe to my channel if you've not subscribed to my channel. Like and share my videos. Thank you so much for your support. Today we're going to talk about something that comes up very often. Why many Nigerians abroad find it difficult to relocate back home. First of all, relocating back to Nigeria is not just moving. It is a complete life reset. Did you hear me? A complete life reset. Your job reset, your income reset, your routine reset. Everything you've built over the years, you're stepping away from it. Abroad, most people have structure. You know when your salary is coming in, you can plan your bills, you can predict your life. But when you move back to Nigeria, most things are not that predictable. And that uncertainty alone is enough to make people pause. Let's be honest, stability is something that most people don't appreciate until they think about losing it. Abroad, you might not feel rich, but you feel secure. There are systems, there are structures, and these systems and structures are very efficient. Now, compared to Nigeria, where things are very, very unpredictable and inconsistent, and cost of living keeps rising without control. So the real question becomes, do I leave something that is working for something that might not? And for many people, that decision is a very difficult one to make. Now let's talk about something that most people don't usually say aloud: debt. In most Western countries, debt is not seen as something bad because that's how most people actually build their lives. So people have mortgages, they have car loans, they have credit cards. They have credit for everything, basically. And that's how the system is heavily reliant on credit. So on the outside, it looks like success. You have a house, you have a car, you live a certain lifestyle, but behind the scene, there are monthly payments that don't stop. And that's where things get complicated. That lifestyle can quietly lock you in, because the moment you start thinking about relocating, you're not just thinking about moving, you also think about obligations. What happens to my mortgage? What happens to my car loan? What happens to my credit commitments? These are not things that you can easily walk away from overnight. These are things that are very long term, 10, 20, even 30 years. So now, it's not just about wanting to come home, but are you free financially to do so? And to be fair, debt is not actually something bad, because most people in the West, that's what allows them to live a comfortable life, or the lifestyle that you see when you're back home and you see on TV, or you see them living that certain lifestyle, and you envy. But the issue here is that it comes with a heavy price. Because what it means is that living that system is not as easy as people think. So sometimes it's not that Nigerians or Africans abroad are enjoying too much. It's just that they are financially committed to a life that they cannot easily walk away from. And that is why you hear this statement: abroad is like a court. It's very easy to enter, but very difficult to come out. Very, very, and that statement is true. It's easier to pack your bags from Africa and go to the West But it's more difficult to come back because there are layers and layers of decision that you have to make. Another misconception is that people that live abroad have a lot of money saved. But that's not always the reality. Yes, people earn in stronger currencies, but they also spend it in that same economy. Rent is high, bills are constant. Bills, bills, bills. That's all you hear abroad. And the taxes, don't even go there. The taxes are significant. It's really, really high. And like for places like the UK, the more you earn, the more they tax you. And it might sound ridiculous. Some people pay more than 60% of their income. You heard me right? Yes. So when you add debt into the whole equation, savings becomes even more difficult. So it's not when you hear, oh, someone earns a certain amount, you just assume they take all that money home. No. They don't even see probably half of that money. So that's how the system is. And you must pay your tax. The day they catch you, that's if you're self-employed anyway, and you have to do your own self-assessment and all, whatever you. But most people are not self-employed. So you don't even have any way to even escape. So maybe if you're self-employed, you can find a way to probably reduce your tax and claim this, claim that. Most people are employed. So you don't even see the money. Before it enters your bank account, they've collected their own. Then they still wait for you again, no? To pay this, pay that. You pay for everything, basically. The only thing they're not charging us is air. If they can charge, they will charge us. So when it's time for relocating, most people now find that they don't have that financial cushion that would help them to do that, to make that decision. People cannot just relocate without something to sustain that move. And moving back without a solid financial plan or strategy is very risky. It's very risky because the truth is that Nigeria is not cheap too. It's not. And it might be okay for, let's say you're used to, okay, let me rephrase that. It's difficult also because Nigeria is not as cheap as you might be thinking when you're abroad. Because when you come home, you also want to live a certain kind of lifestyle. You wouldn't want to just live like every other person because that's what you're used to, unless you're going to be very, very uncomfortable. And I tell you, if you want to try and live like the way you live, you cannot even live the way you live in the West. That's the truth, because some things are not easily to come by. Even for people that earn in foreign currency, it's not that cheap. You want to live that lifestyle you've lived in the West to an extent, just get ready. It's not cheap. It's not cheap because most things are imported, as I said. And that's it. Things like electricity is expensive here. Unless you're okay with sometimes you don't have power, there's no electricity, you can stay without electricity, then that's fine. First of all, the heat that will hit you, your brain, you just start getting confused. So there's some things that are going to be difficult. You cannot just come and live like every other person. Every other, I don't want to say like, you cannot just come and live anyhow lifestyle. That's the truth of the matter. Then let's talk about things like a bit more emotional expectations. When you're abroad, people assume you've made it. So when you come back home, if you're not careful, there's pressure to want to show success, to look like you're doing well. You want to support family. You want to live a certain lifestyle. But in reality, you're trying to adjust, you're trying to rebuild, you're trying to figure things out. And that pressure can be very overwhelming. So for some people, you might have relatives that just think, oh, this one does not have any problem. And if you've always been someone that they've relied on financially, just know that when you come back, they don't understand that probably you're not earning again. They don't understand that. They just think you have this fountain of money somewhere that does not stop flowing. So just bear that in mind, that it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody, to be honest. I'm not going to say I have that pressure. I don't. So just bear that in mind, that for some people, if you've been the type that your whole generation and family, they've been relying on when you are abroad, just know that when you come back, it's going to be worse. And because they are so entitled and they're used to you giving them, when you start saying no, it becomes a problem again. And that's where people are being, if you're not careful, if you have bad relatives, you might be in trouble. Because some people are so desperate. Let's look at something else. And this one is deep: identity shift. Living abroad changes you. Whether you like it or not, just like how you live in Nigeria changes you, living abroad changes you. It changes your mindset. It changes the way you see things. It changes your expectation. It changes you. You're no longer the same. And especially for people that have lived there for a very long time. And when you come back, you might not fully fit in. So you're not fully abroad anymore, and you're not fully local again. And that in between can be very uncomfortable. So when someone has lived abroad and they come back home, sometimes you hear them complain about some things, and it can look like, oh, this person complains too much. But it's just that their expectation is different, their mindset is different, the way they see things, they're seeing things and that probably the people here are no longer seeing. So that's how it is. When you come back to stay here, you start seeing things that before probably they were okay to you, but you don't even know how you've moved and shifted. So it will look like, oh, this person is just maybe pretending or claiming to whatever, or they complain too much, or they're stuck up. No, where they're coming from is totally different. It's not someone, even when you travel just stay 1 year, your mindset will change. That's the truth of the matter. I remember when I came back home, I had not gone for long. Like that, within that 1 year, I came back. I remember horn, the sound of horn. I would just, it used to scare me. It scared me. So why? Because people don't just start tooting their horn. They don't do that abroad unless they want to get your attention. Here is a normal thing. I remember one day in uni, I was just walking just outside our uni, and a car was just gradually following me. It did not bother me. I was just walking in front of. If it's Nigeria, you're just shouting and cursing the hell out of you. So it's a totally different environment, and the way people do things. So you are going to change. You will change, especially if you go there a bit young, where you've not really formed your person or understand who you are. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. Whether it's 1 year, 2 years, you're going to change. It's not going on holiday. That if you go on holiday, to be honest, it doesn't really change people. It doesn't. And I think maybe that's also part of the reason, I'm still going into something else, why you see people that they travel a lot, but yet nothing. When I mean travel a lot, they just go holiday, come back. For you to, your mindset to change, everything to really change, is you'd have to live in the system, interact properly in the system for it to start changing you. Just gradually you're being transformed, just like how Bible says that when we behold him as a man beholds his face in the mirror, face to face, you're being transformed. It is like that with everything. Whatever you behold constantly, you're going to be transformed into that thing, and that's it. That's another digression or what now. So, well, it is what it is. So for many people, choosing not to relocate back home to Nigeria, it's not that they hate Nigeria. Many people abroad love Nigeria deeply. And that's the truth. But love alone is not enough to build a stable or sustainable life. And yet, despite everything, some people still come back. Why? Some come back because of family, purpose, or simply a desire for something different. Some is just for memories, some because of memories. If you grew up here in Nigeria, you have memories, and that's why, when you go for your visa, they look at if you have ties to the country. That's when they can determine whether you come back. If they see you don't have ties like that, they don't want to, they feel you're not going to come back. It's the same thing. Memories, ties bring us back to our homeland. And that's the truth. This is our home. Because Nigeria, for all its challenges, offers something powerful, a sense of belonging. I cannot I cannot be Nigerian and feel I don't belong. There's nothing that can be done here for me to feel, oh, I don't belong. But in the West, there are many things that will be done that you feel you don't belong. For instance, what's happening in the US, ICE or whatever they call it. At least in Nigeria, there's no ICE here. So these are things why people will decide to want to come home, or, as I always say, to create options for themselves and their families. Life abroad is not perfect. Nigeria is not hopeless, and both can be true at the same time. Some people thrive abroad, some people thrive in Nigeria, while some people struggle in both. So for me, options, that's my own, that's the way I see it, having options. Because this idea that one place is the ideal place, it's not right. It's not, or rather, it's not correct. That's not reality. Because no place is perfect. Because before relocating, whether going abroad or coming back home, you have to plan well. You have to think things through. Because relocating is a strategy. It's not a trend. It's not a movement, online movement. Because there are layers behind that decision that people do not see. Because relocation or relocating is not a vibe. It's not patriotism alone. It's not hashtag. It is real life. So the next time you hear people say, why don't Nigerians abroad just come back home? Just know that it's not that simple. It's not just a decision. It is a risk. It is sacrifice. And for many, a very complicated reality, especially those that have children and want to come back with their kids. But I'd like to hear what you think about this in the comment section. If you live abroad and you're from Nigeria, would you ever want to come back home? If you live in Nigeria, do you think it's worth coming back home? Please like, share, and click on the notification bell to receive notification anytime I upload a new video. And if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.